Hi everyone, my name is Amos. I'm from Faculty of Design and Architecture, Universiti Putra, Malaysia. Today I would like to share with you about my full paper for KLIM AC 2025. My CD number is 014, that's 009. My topic of my paper is key factors to develop sustainable agrotourism framework in rice granary for developing country in Asia. There are 8 sections for my paper sharing this morning, and ranging from the research problems, research question, objective, literature review, theoretical propositions, methodology, finding, and conclusion, plus the knowledge contribution and the benefit of my study. According to my leading statements, Penang 2030 policy has ambition to the development of Seberang Perai as one of the agrotourism destination. With the Seberang Perai Draft Local Plan 2030 is to gazette the paddy fields. Seberang Perai, as the mainland of Penang, has many paddy field or rice granary area, which is potential for sustainable agrotourism. And in Malay, we call it jelapang padi, which is about 17.3% of the total Seberang Perai land area, or equivalent to 12,782,000 hectares, are expected to be gazetted under the Local Plan 2030. As you look into the plan, the map that I found out, during the year of 1820, the British colonization period, there are some of the rice granary area, such as Penang, Kampung Terus, has been well developed for food security under the management of the son of Sultan Kedah, Tuanku Sulaiman. The problems of about Seberang Perai that located on the mainland consists of many rice granary area or paddy fields. However, they are lacking of sustainable agrotourism planning and development. And the frameworks to support the policy in Britain is still absent. So in order to safeguard the paddy fields, it is essential to examine the key factors that can enhance the sustainable agrotourism. According to SDG indicator 11.4.1, that total per capita expenditure on the preservation, protection, and conservation of all the cultural and natural heritage by the source of funding, such as private or public type of heritage, the level of government, are important for the SDG indicators. My main research question is, what are the key factors to improve the sustainable tourism for agrotourism at rice granary area? And the main research objective is to determine the key factors how to improve the sustainable tourism, mainly for agrotourism at the rice granary area. And my sub-research questions is to identify what is the key factors of the agrotourism, what are the characteristics of rice granary area for agrotourism, especially at the Penang Kampung Terus, and what are the key factors to improve further the sustainable tourism for agrotourism at rice granary area. And the sub-research objective is to analyze the key factors, to analyze the characteristic of rice granary area for agrotourism, and to determine the key factors how we can improve the sustainable tourism for agrotourism at rice granary area. During my research and literature review, I have selected agrotourism is for my who argue construct number one. So from the journal articles that I've been analyzed, one of the synthesis summary for agrotourism is the character and benefit of agrotourism policy and the landscape character actually are very important in how they can implemented by the policymaker, especially for the rural community and the stakeholders at the agriculture site, such as paddy fields, to enhance the overall livelihood sustainability. And one of the flagship journal that I pick up for sharing is by Deloitte, 1983, where the first issue of Journal of Sustainable Tourism been published uh, during the symposium hosted by FAO, United Nations, have strongly mentioned that sustainable tourism is how we can integrating tourism into agriculture and for the benefit of rural community and farmers. Number two, argue construct number two, or the what construct, is about rice granary area. And my synthesis summary have clearly stated that rice granary area in Malaysia are very important for food security, farmer livelihood, and climate resilience. The biodiversity and the heritage, cultural heritage is untapped potential for agrotourism, particularly can enhance rural well-being, ecosystem services, and sustainable developments. So one of the journal articles that important by this Terrano and Mohammed in 2013 has mentioned that sustainability practices, economic challenges, and policy is needed for paddy farmers in Malaysia, especially at the rice granary area. Number three, argue construct, or the how construct, is how we can improve sustainable tourism. And based on my synthesis summary, sustainable agrotourism is to integrate environmental conservation, community participation, and innovative governance to revitalize rural economies. And this is very important that to regenerative tourisms with the smart systems and local empowerments. And this is one of the important to apply the model to rice granary landscapes, particularly, to propose frameworks for Kampung Terus Penang, Malaysia. And according to Brown and Lane, 1993, the article has been emphasized that the balanced approach to development, conservation, and community well-being is essential for guiding the rural and agrotourism strategies. After I've been going through the literature review, I have done summary and synergies all the articles into the point of departure by using the eager systems. So from the point of departure number 1, number 2, and number 3, I has been summarize them into and then synthesis into POD number 4, number 5, and number 6. And 4 is talking about the rice granary agrotourism. POD 5 is talking about the sustainable rice granary, and POD number 6 is talking about sustainable agrotourism. And from this POD 4, 5, 6, I have summarized them to POD 7 and 8. And finally, I have come up with the POD number 9, which is talking about the rice granary agrotourism. It's a sustainable tourism framework combine the community stakeholders and governments by using clean technology for marketing, for cultural, educational amenities and experience to preserve our paddy fields, our environment, agricultural heritage, food security, poverty reduction, and to boost up the income and leisure for farmers. So this one I call it as the sustainable rice granary agrotourism framework. These are the research methodology, or I call it the steps how I the process on my papers, on my research papers. Step number 1, again, I've been identify the leading statement, problem statement, and the RQ and the objective. The step number 2 is talking about how I'm going through about 120 journal articles. As my literature review the papers according to 3 types of RQ construct: the who, what, and how. And step number 3 is I did the synthesis process from POD 1 until the POD 9 by using the eagles systems, particularly to analyze it for the case study of Penang Kampung Terus. And step number 4 is the finding how I propose a model as sustainable rice granary agrotourism framework and for Penang Kampung Terus. And step number 5 is the conclusions and from the of this paper and what are the knowledge contribution benefit of the study. Okay, the finding after I combine the 3 RQ number 1, the who, which is the agrotourism, RQ number 2, the what, RQ for the rice granary area, and the RQ number 3 is the how to improve the sustainable tourism. After I combine these 3 category of richer review by using the eagle systems, I have achieved a framework, and I call it as sustainable rice granary agrotourism framework, particularly for Penang Kampung Tourist. And as my conclusion, this sustainable rice granary agrotourism framework has been identified a few important key factors after the analysis and synthesis by using the eagle system. The key factor number 1 is the community. Number 2 is the stakeholders. Number 3 is the governance. Number 4 is about framework. Number 5 is natural characteristics. Number 6 is agricultural heritage. And number 7 is about innovations. These are the important key factors to determine the sustainable rice granary agrotourism framework. And the last, talking about the knowledge contributions. From this framework, I have identified 5 knowledge creation for my research. Number 1 is integration of agrotourism into rice granary area or the landscape. This is important because rice granary area is one of the very important asset to the country. Number 2 is about the development of sustainable agrotourism framework. this is to introduce a holistic framework that combine the community, the governance, and other factors. Number three is to bridging the policy and the practice through the place-based governance. For this particular paper, I'm focusing on Penang, Kampung Terus, by the Penang 2030 policy with the local policy and the local farmer participations. Number four is to emphasis on the ecosystem services and cultural landscape. Particularly, paddy field is important and valuable biodiversity, education, and cultural heritage for us. Number five is talking about community-centric sustainable development strategies. So these are the five important knowledge contributions from this paper. And talking about the benefit of these studies, I strongly believe that based on the result and the conclusion of this paper, the Sustainable Rice Granary Agrotourism Framework can enhance the farmers' livelihood and well-being. Number two is to promote the sustainable land use and conservation. As I mentioned, that some of these paddy field will be gazetted and conserved for the paddy farmers and to protect the biodiversity. The third one is how we can strengthen the community, especially the paddy farmers community participation and the cultural identity. I think that the paddy farmers has a very strong cultural identity and where we need to empower them. Number four is to support the policy innovation and multi-stakeholders governance. Again, is how we can connect the farmers with more inclusive and more innovative tourism governance framework. And the last one is how we can align the tourism development with SDGs. This is one of the very important and the benefit of study, where SDG can play a very important role with the indicators and to support the frameworks. Okay. So as a conclusion, the Sustainable Rice Granary Agrotourism Framework is the output from my paper research. And I'm very happy to share with you that Sustainable Asia can really begins with us from Malaysia. Thank you very much.